our second story tonight, we're going to keep talking about immigration. I'm intimately familiar with the US immigration process, having finally become a citizen in 2019. It was a long, stressful process, capped by a moving naturalization ceremony at which, among other things, I gave this awkward thumbs up. And also, I got this little flag. But one part of the ceremony stuck in my head, and it's something millions of naturalised citizens have experienced. Here's footage from a different ceremony that same year, where they explain what's about to happen.
At this time, please direct your attention to the front for a congratulatory message from President Donald Trump, followed by an inspirational video presentation of God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood.
It's true. Right after a message from the president, everyone there had to sit through a music video for Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA, and it's exactly as weird as it sounds. Here is what it was like in that room.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
At one of the most meaningful moments of your life, everyone feels compelled to awkwardly wave their little flag around while thinking, how long is this song exactly? And I got curious about the presence of that song at the ceremony, so we did some digging. But before we get into any of that, a bit of background on God Bless the USA, which is undeniably a very patriotic song. Since its release in 1984, it's had multiple surges in popularity, usually at difficult moments for the country. General Norman Schwarzkopf is said to have played the song to his staff the night before Operation Desert Storm, and after 9/11, it was so ubiquitous, it re-entered the singles charts, peaking at number 16. And while Lee Greenwood's repeatedly claimed his song is apolitical, he definitely isn't. He's performed it at a lot of conservative events over the years. Here he is singing it for Ronald Reagan at the 1988 RNC. Here he is modifying the words to God Bless the NRA for one of their national conventions. And here he is becoming the third person ever inducted into the CPAC Hall of Fame while receiving something that looks less like an award and more like the world's first Ferrero Rocher pigeon. More recently, Greenwood's been a big booster for President Trump. He played his inaugural, introduced Trump at this year's Republican convention, and serenaded him early this month when he returned to Butler, Pennsylvania, making his music the second worst thing to happen to someone's ears there. Now, interestingly, Greenwood's never had a hit anywhere close to God Bless the USA, something he insists he's totally fine with. He said, if you're going to have to be known for something really powerful and really good. I'd hate to have Purple Rain or Margaritaville be my signature song, which is just a wild drive-by against two objectively better artists. You'd hate to be known for Margaritaville? A song that became a restaurant franchise and a Broadway musical? Bullshit! And I'm not even touching the Purple Rain thing, because Prince isn't known for Purple Rain. He's known for being Prince, except for in the 90s, when he was known for being whatever the fuck this is. But to be clear, his signature song is all of them. But the truth is, a lot of people do love God Bless the USA, and Greenwood's found as many ways as possible to monetise that fact, selling God Bless the USA fireworks, a children's book, silver coins, and even this.
Introducing the limited edition God Bless the USA Bible, inspired by Lee Greenwood's patriotic anthem. The God Bless the USA large print leather-bound King James Bible also contains America's founding documents, the U.S. Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and the Pledge of Allegiance, along with the handwritten chorus to Lee Greenwood's song, God Bless the USA.
Now, if doing that to a Bible seems a bit odd to you, you are not alone. Even Christianity Today published a blog post criticising it, saying, we agree that it's essential to know the contents of this nation's founding documents. We do not believe, however, that they should be published as though they are an extension of God's word. A line of critique the president of the marketing company that created the Bible responded to by saying, it's got separation pages. To which I really hope Christianity Today responded, ooh, separation pages, la-di-da. We didn't know it had separation pages, fuck you, but they probably didn't do that because, you know. Also, For what it's worth, this doesn't really look separated. That's the printed words of the Bible next to the handwritten words of a song chorus looking like a yearbook signature from your worst classmate. Proud to be an American where at least I know I'm free. Jesus Christ, Dylan C. Just write keep in touch. Space is limited and you're not even hot. Oh, one more thing. That Bible costs $60. And if you're thinking who'd be so nakedly crass to be associated with a $60 Lee Greenwood branded Bible, you already know the answer to that.
I'm proud to be partnering with my very good friend Lee Greenwood. Who doesn't love his song, God Bless the USA, in connection with promoting the God Bless the USA Bible. All Americans need a Bible in their home, and I have many. It's my favorite book. It's a lot of people's favorite book.
Sure, yeah, sure. It's your favourite book. That is why the most famous time you were seen with the Bible, you held it like a model on Deal or No Deal, showing off the briefcase number, then like you're about to kill a mosquito with it, and then just stared at it like you'd never seen a book before. Fun fact, Trump apparently made $300,000 for endorsing that Bible. We asked Lee Greenwood how much he made, and he declined to answer, but said, yes, I have made money from the Bible. It is part of business. And it doesn't end there. In 2016, Greenwood filed a trademark for the phrase God Bless the USA, stating it'd be used on accent pillows, decorative centerpieces of wood, decorative wall hangings, not of textile, home decor and accessories. Basically, the entire left side of any home goods store. That application was rejected in 2017 and again on appeal in 2020 because, as one article put it, the Trademark Office regularly rejects proposed marks where consumers would likely perceive them as merely communicating the ordinary meaning of words. A truly fantastic reason to refuse a trademark. We'd love to help you, but legally speaking, you're basic. But that does make sense. God Bless the USA is clearly a generic sentiment. It's certainly no it's 5 o'clock somewhere, a phrase successfully trademarked, by the way, by Margaritaville Enterprises, LLC. Suck it. The point is, Lee Greenwood is clearly very focused on making money for Lee Greenwood, even when doing things that might appear altruistic. Just watch as he makes this special offer regarding an upcoming concert.
In all of our shows, I don't care where they are, we always honor our veterans. We want to make sure that veterans and their caregivers can come to our performance. So if your listeners will go to our website, leegreenwood.com, and adopt a vet. For $100, you can put a vet and a caregiver in a seat to watch this amazing television production.
But that's not charity. He's not giving anything away. He's just getting a different person to pay $100 for tickets to his concert and telling people to make sure veterans can come at seemingly no financial cost to himself. It's like that phrase about our vets. All gave some gave all. Lee gets 40% of the door. And all that brings us back to his song's presence at my and many other citizenship ceremonies, because even that has been a revenue stream for him. Because when Greenwood's reps found out his song was being played at ceremonies, they apparently forced USCIS to enter into a settlement negotiations to compensate him. We found that sentence in a government-commissioned report on intellectual property law, but it didn't contain much info on what's happened since. But we wanted to know more. So, a few years ago, we filed a Freedom of Information Act request and found out the government ultimately paid $22,000 to Universal Music, Greenwood's music publisher, for a 6-year licensing contract, including nearly 4 years in back pay, which is both a surprisingly small amount of money and also, I would argue, $22,000 too much. But it gets much weirder from there, because in 2018, the government signed a new deal to license the publishing rights for around $700 a year. But then, during the pandemic, there was a snag with payments because the government wanted to pay with a credit card, but Universal insisted it couldn't take credit card payments. I cannot tell you how many emails about this particular problem there were. In the wake of that issue, there was apparently a lot of confusion about whether the government could use the song at ceremonies or not. Because we turned up emails between immigration employees like, is the Lee Greenwood song allowed now? And I want to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Have we been given the OK to play Lee Greenwood again? There's even an exchange with someone asking, am I the only one who loves that song? And getting the very firm reply, yes, you are. Eventually, it became clear they didn't have a license to use the song anymore, and staffers were told last November it is very important to reiterate that we no longer have the licensing rights to play the Lee Greenwood God Bless the USA song. A message that still didn't seem to get through, though, given a news article from this May about a New Jersey ceremony mentions new citizens being called up one at a time as Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA played. And honestly, I'm not sure why it's being played at ceremonies at all, not just contractually or even musically, but because Greenwood's past remarks about immigrants have been, to say the least, off-message. Here he is a few years ago at CPAC.
Here we are at a free country. We can do what we want. We have immigrants who come here all the time. They need to know this. They need to know we're still a Western country that believes in God. That's it.
No, that is not it. And fellow immigrants, I cannot stress this enough. Do not listen to Lee Greenwood, because among other things, you will fail your citizenship test. The fact Americans are free to have any religion or none whatsoever is an answer to 4 separate questions on it, including what is freedom of religion? So pay attention to what's actually on the test, not the man dressed like a loan shark in mourning. And when it comes to undocumented immigration, Greenwood will quickly jump to the negative like this.
My song, God Bless the USA, is used in the welcome film along with the national anthem and the welcome from the President of the United States. That makes me extremely proud. What does not make me proud is that any administration prior who has not sealed our border and stopped people from China, from Iran, or any terrorist organization who would fly to Mexico and come across the border illegally, filter into our nation, and waiting till they're told to be the next terrorist attack. It is coming.
OK, that is obviously idiotic, but I love the idea. Aspiring terrorists are just sitting around and waiting to be told they're America's next terrorist attack, like they're on Bravo's most controversial new reality show. And look, maybe you can look past all this. The fact Greenwood's a tacky Bible salesman with views completely at odds with everything a naturalization ceremony represents. Maybe you can stomach his song being used on the grounds it's a uniquely American tribute to this singular country. But is it? Because it turns out, just 5 years after he released God Bless the USA, he released another song, and it's going to sound very familiar to you until it suddenly doesn't.
And I'm proud to be in Canada, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless you, Canada.
It doesn't even fucking rhyme! It doesn't rhyme! You cannot keep defend her still today if you're not willing to sing God Bless You, Canada. You can't do it! But the point is, he took his quintessentially American song and switched a few words so it would be about Canada instead. The rest of it is him just finding and replacing Canadian places for American ones. Take a listen.
From the shores of Nova Scotia to the forests in BC, Montreal to Winnipeg, from sea to shining sea.
Come on! You can't just pack your song in with place names like a Mad Libs and call it a day. You know why? Because you'll get real YouTube comments like this one saying, I am from Rwanda and Mr. Greenwood has not made a version for us yet. See? It's a slippery slope, Lee. All of this is to say, for multiple reasons, I'd argue Lee Greenwood's song should never again be played at citizenship ceremonies because they deserve one genuinely unique to this country. A song that celebrates the nation new Americans are about to join and the process that they've been through, while also not soft-peddling some hard truths about it. And the good news is, I think we actually have the perfect song, and it's performed by an actual American treasure. And not only will we not charge the government $700 a year for it, we're not arseholes, we'll actually pay them $701 a year if they agree to play it at naturalization ceremonies from now on. And I could tell you more about it, but honestly, I think it's probably best just to show it to you.
You studied hard, you did your best, filled out the forms and passed the test. Now you're part of a land that's so God blessed, and starting today, you're American. There's corn dogs and apple pie, fireworks lighting up the sky, NASCAR rodeo barbecue. That stuff's American, now so are you. We learned our presidents and our laws. I think it's time to mention our flaws. We're a real big country with real big problems. We're kinda hoping you could help us solve them. Televangelists and fossil fuels, metal detectors in all our schools, private prisons and Mountain Dew. That stuff's American, now they're your problem too. Student debt and CTE, the war on drugs, Scientology, Boeing Airlines and Ted fucking Cruz. They're all American, now so are you. Nowadays it's harder to be free, hard to be the country that we ought to be. You weren't born here, you volunteered to join your fate to the great and the just plain queen. So get ready for the truck nuts and jet ski tricks, Santa Con and food on sticks, thousands of medical bankruptcies, plantation weddings and Chuck E. Cheese, big goats and LL Bean, tornado spirit Halloween. Holy shit, I just remembered the coup. That's us American. We sure ain't perfect, but here's to the fight. The brightest future is the one you'll ride. Wherever you come from, wherever you roam, fellow Americans, fellow Americans, fellow Americans, welcome
That's our show. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Good night.